think this one's gonna be a little more uncomfortable to make than the ones I usually do. I'm going back to therapy, and sorry for not uploading for the past couple of weeks. Uh, to those who watch my videos, thank you for stopping by. However long, I appreciate your time. But it's been a little harder for me, I think, than I want to give myself credit for, than my ego wants to give myself credit for. I'm really hard on myself, so I need to be honest and notice when that happens. Um, I have somebody in my life. It's not super serious. We're not really dating. It's not that at all. It's platonic. But we're taking a break from talking to each other, from doing things. And it's making me have to face something that I think I've been using the internet and using other things to cope with for, I want to say, all of my life. I won't get too far into it, but I missed a lot of important growth periods for reasons that I've come to accept were not in my control. Abusive childhood in different ways. When you're just in survival mode all the time, you don't really have the space nor the desire to do things, but that's neither here nor there. We're taking a break, and it's not as bad as my anxiety wants to make me believe it is, but it's making me notice how my loneliness and how much I seek to try to fill that hole of loneliness, how much it impacts the few relationships I do have. And I'm going back to therapy to try to dig into that more because this is something that I can't do on my own, and I've tried for so many years too. I did all of this soul searching kind of through like yogic uh and western esotericism and mystics that used loneliness like a tunnel to attain some sort of samadhi, some sort of higher state of consciousness. And I think I kind of discovered a truth about samadhi that there is, it's not really an ego death in the way that we think of it, as it's a gaining, it's a realization of an interconnectedness that makes it impossible for you to just play your role in this life, your separate dharma, because you see all dharma is connected, all people are connected. And while it's a really blissful place to be in, you can't really go back to being your own individual. That film that Maya gives you melts away. And the higher and higher you go, the more of that you lose. And I'm sure there are nuances and other specifics, but as far as I understand it, that's kind of what happens. And I'm just kind of really in the wheelhouse of wanting to lower my nervous system more and more because I notice that this life, this technology, this society, and how exploitive and manipulative we're all learning to be, and how we do unto others what we do to ourselves, how that all culminates into cruelty, just cruelty optimized. It's like our whole thing is optimization, but what we end up optimizing more often than not becomes a cruelty. We're working ourselves to the bone, mind, body, and soul. And we're just figuring out how to get more and more and more out of ourselves and destroy ourselves in the process. And all that I've ever really been interested in is kind of undoing that, because I think that this can be closer to a utopia. I think it can at least be better. But we have to like change that within ourselves. And there's something within me right now that I can't fix by myself, and I have to seek help for it. And I found help, and I'm starting tomorrow, 2 p.m. sharp. And I'm going to be there, and we're going to work on this together. There's a way that I get clingy to people because there aren't many relationships in my life that I have, if any, at all, since I was like 18, I think, who involved somebody that I could say, I love you to, in the way that, like, people who aren't family do. You know, I learned recently that love is a choice because there's like a you know how there's like a homeostasis for when the body's too hot it cools down and when it's too cold it warms up? There's like a homeostasis in the philosophical sense, in the intellectual sense, in the dopaminergic sense. Like sex begins to kind of just feel because you return to a baseline. And the more you engage in something, of course, diminishing returns. But what does that really mean, right? It means that that stasis you kind of return to and you stay at. You stay at that. And that's in everything. It's in achievements, it's in relationships, it's in foods, you know. And so when we talk about living simply, I think literally what we mean is recognizing if you thrill seek all of your life, that's fine. You know, no one, like, your life is your own. Your dharma is yours. That's what you get in this life. Whatever you do, right? Whatever you make of in your dharma, whatever, right? But when we live simply, there's almost like a respect to that homeostasis, and you find an enjoyment in the baseline. And then maybe somewhere in the meditation and in the yoga and everything you do, or just sit for months and, you know, don't get up from that, and then you realize there that you raise that sort of stasis, you raise that like normal frequency that you're at. And then when that rises up, your experience of the world becomes better. And there can be all the philosophy in the world around it, but that's kind of like, and that comes from like lowering the nervous system, like de-stressing the nervous system is the best way I can put it. And it can be something as simple as shavasana, just laying on the floor. How much calmer and peaceful that can make somebody. How can that not be like that person's own experience of samadhi? It's not a state of oneness, but in the sense of a peace, a calm that they haven't experienced maybe ever in their life. There are children right now who are, they're already collecting Yeti cups. They're already so optimized and perfected their routine, and these kids haven't even turned 12 yet. And then we talk about on the other end of the aisle, there are kids that can't read yet, and fine, you know, fine. I don't know. It's messy, but all we can help is ourselves. You can listen to this entire 9.5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, and you know, it's up to you what you want to do different. If there even is anything you want to do different. I'm not suggesting that there is. I'm just talking out loud. It's what all these videos really are, is just me kind of talking out loud and kind of tying it together. I'm doing better. I'm doing better today. I'll be doing a lot better after therapy tomorrow too. I'm still kind of beating myself up over letting my clinginess nearly make me lose a really close friendship, close platonic friendship. But she doesn't think that I'm weird or a creep or anything like that. We just need a little space, and I think that that's good. And I know that because she communicated it to me. This isn't some mentalization. So, you know, there's something I can be better in, and it's something that I've been running from for years because I didn't want to admit how lonely I was. But I think I know the mechanisms behind some of it. But I obviously can't fight this battle by myself anymore. I can afford therapy now. It won't put me in the red. I won't just lose money every month. I'm going to try to continue living simply because I think that that helps a lot. Um, I don't think there's a meditation this time. I don't want to give that. Instead, I'll recommend a book. H.P. Lovecraft Tales of Horror, filled with a number of his cosmic works. A lot of the themes of the novel that I'm trying to write are around cosmic horror and cosmic stuff, right? Very, very, some important stuff happens on Earth, but a lot of the theater is out there or in another dimension, I should say. And that theme, now that I finally can pin it down, that's really the stuff that I like. That's what I adore, you know. So that's my recommendation. I'm tired of reading philosophy and optimization books and everything that talks about how bad the world is, and I just want to bring fantasy back to the world. I wanna add to that shelf however I can. But I'm gonna do it at my pace because I want to have fun too, you know. I don't want to just sacrifice my fun. So I'll work on this at my pace and it'll become whatever it becomes. Four books, one book, however many. It's nice having my own thing though. However popular it gets, this is my thing. That feels really good. Creating's awesome. But the real work is inside. The real work is in the meditation and in talking to your counselor, you know, as my dad would say. So, drink water. if you haven't if you haven't done any light exercise today, you can just lay out a little mat and lay on it and look at the ceiling for a while. Shavasana. It's what I did actually before I did this. I just laid there for like 10 minutes. I started talking to myself as I usually do, but it was still good, you know. Namaste, my friends. Drink water. Be well. Love you.